Well, hello, campers and woodsmen. I'm out here. I'm fixing to go on a little hike to do a little recon, a little creek camp that I want to have in the future. At the same time, I want to get a little lunch. Nothing fancy, just going to be a little mountain house today, and a coffee. And it's I've been waiting on it for some time. My first little obstacle, though, is because of the rains we've had. Water's moving pretty good. Just a little spillway in this lake here. So I got across this, and there is no getting around it. I will get wet. Actually, that little crossing wasn't that big a deal. Now, make my way into the forest. I am using a stick today, and it's pretty thick. And the reason is, I don't want it to have a lot of flex, because I'm going to need it to balance myself in a couple of spots. So I think this is going to be okay. Here's obstacle number 2. More water. Also, I've got to keep my eyes out for snakes. Well, you live and you learn. I honestly didn't believe that everything would be so flooded over here. So I wasn't properly prepared footwear wise. Actually, I think I'm in fairly decent shape here. The weather today, 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's a little buggy, which is to be expected. It's the time of the year, but and we do have rain and or thunderstorms forecast for later today. So I am a bit prepared for that, I guess. Got a military poncho, which I think will come in handy. Sure do. I kind of like the way the woods look when it's cloudy and things like that, because you can see lots of things. The colors of the woods, to me, are more true when it's overcast this way. Making our way through. Mosquitoes, yeah, they're buzzing like crazy. And I did prepare with some deep woods off explore, something like that. And then of course I've got my, when all else fails, my 100% DEET. I don't really like to use 100% DEET unless I have to, because of it being a sort of a harsh, dangerous chemical. But you never know, may have to break it out. Now we're going down here. I know I've got a little water crossing, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too bad. We'll see. In the meantime, I'm going to spin you around. Let's take a look. There's something really cool and prehistoric about this little area, I always thought. It's really awesome. Underneath a giant magnolia tree. This is a public hiking trail. You can see the hiking marker there. I don't believe I'm going to be running into any hikers today. Yep, and we do have yet more water. Now, when you see things like this, and you have rain forecast, this is something where you need to be concerned about flash flooding. So, I'm going to have to keep my eye out for things like that. And here is a crossing. I've got a 4x4 piece of lumber. It's been someone very graciously put there as a crossing point. And here again, that's where this stick's going to come into play. I have a pack on my back, and at my age, my balance isn't what it used to be. So, see if I can get this crossing done. Alright, here we go. Yeah, this pole is very rigid, so it does help. One thing to know, that if you have soft spots, it makes a suction on your post, which can throw you off balance. So whenever you're using this thing and you go into a soft spot, twist your hand like this so that when you need to raise your hand, it's going to come up easily. Otherwise, it can throw you off balance. Another cool part of the trail, these roots coming off of this tree are like natural steps. Now I've come to this. I can either take the Bethel Road or the Airy Lake Trail. I'm going to take the Bethel Road. What I'm looking for is a creek, and it's not going to be very difficult to find it either from what I can see. Good God, this thing is up. Holy smokes. Last time I came here, honest to God, you couldn't even see this. I mean, you had to really look for it because it goes down a ways. Cool. Very cool. In a way it kind of stinks because I wanted to get down to some of the bottom places to show you. Yeah, there's little creeks and stuff going crazy back here. I would imagine this whole place floods. Last time I came back here, this was my access point. Or was it? Yeah, it was. Well guys, this is the end of the line. Last time I came here, realistically, and I mean realistically, this water was between 16 and 18 feet straight down. Between 16 and 18 feet. I don't see where it's been raining that daggum much to bring it up this high. And if you look, see how fast that water's moving? What does that mean? If you're in it, pretty much that means death. Because there are entanglements, I'm sure, everywhere. It's a place you don't want to be, I can tell you that. Guess I'm going to take a little break right here. I'll have lunch here. I actually wanted to go up the trail some, but that's not going to happen. Water's just too bad right now. This pack that I have, believe it or not, is very water resistant. It's lined in rubber, so I don't feel real bad about sitting on the ground. Get a few things out here that I may need. Sweet little turkey hunting chair I got over there at Academy. I like it. It's portable. Got nice stable legs on it. Even though it's 3 as opposed to 4. Yeah, it's a 3-legged chair, but it sits very well. It's got a backrest to it, which I really love. Well, I'm going to see if I can get some kind of dry wood and get a small fire going. Kind of keep down these bugs. I don't think this is going to get it. It's rotten. Yeah, I can feel moisture inside. Here it is, a little trickle. It's now a lagoon. I, honest to God, barely had enough time to pack my stuff. I don't even have my backpack really on yet. Guys, this is just a small example of things that happen. They call them flash floods for a reason. Water comes at you, doesn't give a damn who you are, what walk of life you come from. It's about its business, not yours. So you got to respect it. If you don't, believe you me, you'll pay the price. One last look at this Aqua Insanity here. I'm not a doomsdayer or naysayer or anything like that, but the reality is water gives life, and in certain cases water takes life. So also, when it does this, you got to watch out for moccasins, man, because they're being swept along and relocated. A little bit on the ornery side. It's so cool, man, sometimes. Mother Nature will never fail to disappoint in keeping you on your toes. You know, I see a lot of videos where, even on some of the larger channels that I like, about people going to camp and thunderstorms, things like that. Well, honestly, I don't know if that's the best idea. From my own experience, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be tethered to a lightning rod. I think it's not wise. I realize that inclement weather is part of this. It's not all cherries. It's not all sunshine, rainbows. But to willfully go camping in a thunderstorm, I'm sure I'll get blasted for this, but I just don't think it's good sense. So, enough said there. I don't see 3 or 4 inches here, but I do see a couple of inches from where this was before. And because the water's not moving extremely fast, it can give you a false sense of security. Because there's more of this than there was when I came in. I can tell by the obvious, by the water that I'm looking at, and I can also tell by the sounds of the little rapids that it makes over that root. It's louder. This is just so freaking awesome though, man. It's beautiful. Now that was a cool little experience, I gotta say. It really was. Well, it's time for lunch now. I said I was gonna come out here and have lunch, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a mountain house. I'm gonna enjoy it. And regardless of what this weather says or does, I will have my mountain house today. It's a weird thing. Of course I love fresh food, but man, these mountain house things are kind of growing on me. It's weird, like I got a weird craving for it. And my favorite one is the breakfast, so I'm gonna have that. And I don't care if it rains or not, because as y'all well know, I will cook it in the truck. I'm gonna have a coffee as well. Love that little BCB Crusader mug. Well, I had to do a quick wardrobe change because, you know, I got to stay looking good for the ladies. Now this is nice, just relaxing. Yes, sir, the water, she's a-rising. You know, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a neat little adventure. But it was a really good illustration of what can go wrong out there in the wild, in the woods, in the wilderness. Camping out on creek banks is really, it's awesome. I mean, whenever everything goes right. Pay attention to your weather reports and things like that. But you see what can happen. And it happens in a matter of minutes. You don't have hours necessarily. You really don't. I'm telling you, right now, the way that stuff was coming in, that thing's probably risen another 6, 10 inches, maybe a foot. Who knows, maybe even more. I doubt any less than 10 inches or so. I highly doubt it. It was coming in that fast. And if you're camping in the middle of the night, imagine how horrible that would be if in the middle of the night you got this flash flood coming in on you, comes up, you may not be able to find your way through the trail may be obstructed with fast moving water. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm not joking around. Watch and be wary of your surroundings and what's going on, because things can change on a dime. See how I got a kitty cat, and that little kitty cat, he's eating me up. I gotta train this cat not to attack me. But he's a little young male, rambunctious and stuff, and of course I bleed real easy. Anything, I get tore up with stuff out in the woods and stuff. But good God, I'm looking raggedy. Well, this is good. the day is good. I want to thank you guys for being with me. As always, for here and forevermore, from Donnie Pavlini Outdoors to you and yours, keep your eye on your surroundings. Get out there, enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer. We'll see you in the woods. Take care. Now that's good.